Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to WRC Generations. So very much like yesterday's video with the Ford Puma and the Ford Fiesta being tested against each other, this time we're going to test the Toyota rally cars, both the Rally1 Hybrid and the previous WRC model from both WRC Generations and WRC 10 to see which one, well, is the better of the two, I guess. So as you can see here, we are testing out WRC Generations up first. Obviously, we have the hybrid systems in these cars, and we've got it set to 1 this time. So we've got maximum acceleration and power at the kind of the, I guess, downside of the, of it draining much quicker. Now, one thing to note, and it kind of is true for this car as well, and the previous one being the Ford Puma, is that the cars feel much more weighty in WRC Generations. Now, they're not to the point where it feels ultra realistic, they just feel much more, I guess, like they have a decent amount of weight to them. So when you're hitting the corners, it doesn't feel like it's skating on ice, you feel like you're actually riding on a surface. And again, it's noticeable here with the Toyota. In fact, I found it much more noticeable with both the Toyota and the Ford than I actually did the Hyundai. The Hyundai video will also be up either today or tomorrow, whenever this video goes out. Now, in terms of the actual car itself and the way it looks and such, I feel like this is a much better looking package than what we had with the Toyota in WRC 10. I absolutely 100% feel this is a much more aggressive looking car. The aero is much more aggressive and kind of in your face. That big rear wing actually feels like it's doing something this time around in terms of, getting that car, planted and doing what you wanted it to do. Now, obviously, when we reviewed the WRC Fiesta, I did note that WRC 10 feels very kind of skittish and over kind of active. It really does give you that sensation of kind of skidding on ice. However, like I said, we do not have that problem with WRC Generations. It does feel kind of the perfect balance of kind of being in the middle of a simulator and an arcade rally game. It really does provide a pretty unique experience, and it's 100% more improved than WRC 10 in pretty much every aspect, even in terms of the way the stages look. Now, if you remember, we are essentially using the same stage in both games to really give it, as equal opportunity as I possibly can. Obviously, it's still early stages of WRC Generations, so over time, my pace is going to improve. The kind of way they're handling, getting to grips with these hybrid systems, how they work is going to improve. One thing to note with the hybrid cars, you kind of have to find the right balance, and this was especially, in this Toyota running the hybrid at 1, was that, you was finding yourself wanting to brake a lot more instead of just whipping the back end out, just to kind of get that boost on, on charge and ready, pretty much constantly. So it really is a balancing act, and it does improve the overall driving experience within WRC Generations. I feel like the models of the cars as well, whilst they're not absolutely perfect still, obviously it's not a groundbreaking game in terms of its graphics, I do feel like they just look kind of more, detailed and more with it, in comparison to kind of how WRC 10 looks. I noticed in WRC 10 there's a lot more kind of jagged edges. It looks a lot more, I guess, dull to look at, whereas in Generations it kind of just pops a bit more. I feel like the stages are looking better, the cars are looking better, and it really just gives you, more immersion, I guess. So I really am beginning to massively enjoy WRC Generations for what it really is, and it is feeling more of a worthy upgrade the more that I actually play it. But in terms of these cars, honestly, the hybrid cars and the hybrid Toyota is easily one of the better cars in probably any rally game ever. It's absolutely awesome having them as we go across the line pretty much on our roof. So awesome way to finish the stage. Absolutely love the hybrid Rally 1 car. Now it's time to take a step back as we go ahead and have a look at WRC 10. As you can see, the cars here are going to be very much more reactive. It's very kind of strange going between the two. Obviously, it does feel like you're massively skating on ice. The car feels like it's shaking all the time, but not the kind of shaking for the surface. It just kind of feels like the shaking that you used to see in old arcade rally games. And it's kind of strange because I never massively noticed it when I used to obviously play WRC 10 quite a bit. But yeah, kind of going from one to the other to test the cars as soon as, between each other as soon as possible. Yeah, it was just so different, trying to get to grips with these cars just felt really strange. Obviously, these are the aero cars that we had for, I believe, since 2017 in WRC. The Toyota in this game, personally, being my favourite of the bunch. There was just absolutely something about it that I absolutely love. Now, in terms of actual look perspective, obviously, we've got pretty similar models. Obviously, the Toyota's jump into the Rally1 hybrid era wasn't as kind of crazy as the likes of Toyota and Ford and Hyundai. Obviously, they came out with essentially a whole new model of car, and one that was pretty much upgraded in terms of it. And obviously, Toyota have kind of stuck around with the same sort of design that they had from the aero car into the Rally1. So these two essentially should really be the most similar in terms of the looks. But obviously, if you notice when you're looking at the gameplay, they look very, very different. There's quite a few striking kind of differences in each of the cars, and the main one for me is actually the mirrors. Now, they're similar, but if you look at the hybrid Rally 1 car, which we've just previously used, you'll notice it almost just looks like it's all kind of sloped in to give it this sort of bullety kind of design, with the aero car just feels a lot more puffy and a lot more aggressive. Obviously, it lacks the air intakes and such, which the hybrid car does have. I feel like the hybrid package overall kind of took one of the best designed rally cars of all time and made it look ultra aggressive. So this just feels more like a sort of a toned back design in comparison. But as you can see, in terms of the handling model, it's really difficult just to get to grips. Like I said, it really does feel like you're skating around on ice. And whilst all the kind of shadows and such look really good on the car and over the car, and the dirt looks pretty decent, it kind of pulls you away from all that when you're just constantly trying to keep this car under its twitchy control. So I do feel like Generations has gone more to the handling model. I'd probably say like WRC 8 and WRC 9, where the cars just feel a bit more planted, a bit more kind of I guess stiffer to drive, but not in that kind of way. Do you know what I mean? Like it just feels like they're a bit more bulky, a bit more weighty, and there's a bit more control over them. Whereas going back to WRC 10, like I said, you've kind of got that skating feeling, which in my opinion the handling model in WRC 10 was a step back from the previous ones. As much as I absolutely loved this game when I was playing it, properly pretty much every day at one point, going back to it now, I'm absolutely terrible at it. So it's pretty crazy how you go away from a game for all of 9 months, and now all of a sudden you're absolutely awful at it, when before you was pretty decent. But in my honest opinion, which of the cars is the better? I'm honestly going to have to go for the hybrid Rally 1. It was the first proper hybrid rally car that I kind of looked into, and I just feel like they've done a brilliant job within WRC Generations of kind of portraying how aggressive it looks and just how good it looks. And honestly, the handling improvements in Generations just makes it feel like a much better package. So that's going to be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll have the Hyundai comparison up next. Thank you so much for watching, and just taking some of your time out of your day to come along to my channel and watch my videos. I'll have plenty more WRC Generations as well as other races like GT7 and such going on in the future. So I want you to take care, look after yourself. Peace.